it's Lindsay, and today's video is going to be a recommendations video. I am going to start a little bit of a series on my channel, so that'll help me out with my filming schedule. But today I'm going to talk about the 10 books that I want to see made into movies and tell you a little bit about them. So starting at our number 10, we have the Archers of Avalon series by Chelsea Fine. This book I've read, I want to say I've read it like 4 or 5 times, but I think I read it back in 2011 and I just recently reread it, and so it's fresh on my mind on why I want it to be made into a movie. But this book is taking place in present day Georgia, where a girl wakes up in the middle of a field and doesn't remember who she is other than the fact that her name is Scarlett Jacobs. That's it. So we fast forward in time about 2 years where she's a senior in high school and she meets these mysterious twin boys. Little does she know that she has known these boys for 500 years. Let that sink in for a little bit, but things get complicated and drama ensues from there. So this book would be so good as a movie, it's not even funny. Number 9 is another one of my favorite books. I read it about, I want to say 2 years ago, and that would be The Perfect Game by J. Sterling. This is the first book in the Perfect Game trilogy, and it is complete and utter trash. But it's okay. I absolutely loved it. And I mean trash as in a good way. This book is a new adult romance novel, and it was so good. It takes place in a college in California with a baseball player and a photography student, and it's so good. There's so much drama. It's great. Writing style is not the best, let me tell you, but she sucks you in the first chapter. I mean, if an author can do that, she's doing something right. So J. Sterling, Jennifer, you are absolutely amazing. I love your series. I only own the first book in hardback or in paperback, but I have all 3 of them on my Kindle. So keep doing what you're doing, because I absolutely love this book. And it would be fantastic on the big screen because 2 words, Jack and Carter. Number 23, he's fantastic. It's so good. You guys have to read it. If you haven't read it, you're missing out. So number 8 on my list, and this might be a little bit of a controversial pick, but I'll tell you why I chose it for so low on my top 10, and that would be The Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. And the only reason why it's at number 8 is because I have not finished the series yet. I am only on book 3, and I'm not even halfway done with book 3. So there is a reason why I don't really have this higher on my list, but once I read the rest of the series, I'm sure it will jump up like it always does, because I read the second book in like a day and a half and it was fantastic. But there is one thing that I would say about this, is that this would make a great TV show. I don't necessarily think it would make a great movie, because there's so many details in this book that if it was a movie, it would just be lost in the translation. And so if it was a TV show, I'd absolutely thoroughly enjoy it. Because let's be honest, this would be so good as a TV show. Yeah, and I know a whole bunch of people have done fan casting for this, and I've seen different people casted for the same characters, and it's just fun to see what other people think about it. And yeah, but I am really hoping that this gets picked up by a studio and they will make it into a movie or TV show, because it's so good. Number 7 on my list is a recent obsession of mine, and it all started out, I went to the movies a couple weeks ago and I went and saw Suicide Squad, and you could probably already guess on what this one is, but I would really love to see Harley Quinn as a main movie, on her own breakout movie aside from Suicide Squad. I think it would be so good. But the only thing that I would say is that if they would make a Harley Quinn movie, they need to have Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. She does such a good job of bringing Harley Quinn Harley Quinn's personality from the comic books into real life movie that it was so good. You know, the movie wasn't the best, but Harley Quinn was by far my favorite character out of the whole cast and crew. So I would absolutely love to see this as a movie. I'm not alone, because a lot of people would love to see Harley Quinn in a movie on her own. And I've actually read some of the Batman comics that she appeared in, and she was so great. It was fantastic. Harley Quinn is just one of those characters that is like kind of iffy because of the fact that she's so obsessed with the Joker. And the Joker, obviously, he's crazy. But Margot Robbie and Jared Leto did a fantastic job of portraying these characters. And I really want them to make a movie on their own and just broaden the Harley Quinn and Joker relationship. And I want to kind of see some of the darker elements with the physical and mental abuse between the two, because they're both physically abusive to each other and emotionally abusive to each other. So I would, more so the Joker obviously than Harley Quinn, but I would absolutely love to see how they would portray it into the big screen. So there's that one. Number 6 on my list would be Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. And I know that they were going to make a movie out of this book, but I don't think anything went anywhere with that. So this still needs to happen, because Tate and Miles would be so amazing on the big screen that it just needs to happen. And if Nick Bateman is going to be playing Miles, then heck yes, I'm going to be in that movie. I'm going to be the first row in the movie theater watching that movie, because it's fantastic. This book, I read it in 6 or 7 hours. I could not put it down. I picked it up at 6 o'clock at night, just, you know, gonna read it a little bit and just go to bed. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. I stayed up all night until 2:30 in the morning and finished this book because it was so good. So stinking good. I loved it. Yeah, so hopefully this goes into a movie, because I need to see my feels on the big screen where, you know, things are magical. But yes, definitely one of the top that I need to be made into a movie. So number 5 on my list is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. Once again, a fantasy novel. This also would make a great TV series, not so much a movie, because once again, there's a lot of details in this series that would probably be lost in translation on a movie. So I would really prefer it actually to be a TV show, but yes. Number 4 on my list is the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the 5th book, which is Opposition. This series is fantastic. I read all 5 books in a matter of, I want to say, 2 weeks. It was pretty fast, because once I read that first one, I could not stop. I just wanted to continue on reading it. But anyway, in the first book, we meet this girl named Katie, and she is a book blogger or vlogger, and she moves into this small town in Virginia, I want to say, or West Virginia, where she meets this guy named Damon, who's actually her neighbor. What little does she know is that Damon is an alien from afar, and he doesn't really like her in the beginning. And so you just see the turmoil between the two of them, and it's absolutely fantastic. I could not get enough of it. This would make such a good angsty teen flick, which probably be really terrible, but it would be so good. The acting would be really, really awful, but the whole experience would be so fantastic. It's so bad it's good, you know what I mean? So this would be another one. Number 3 on my list, again, fantasy novel, is The Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is actually the first one, which I have in paperback. I know, it's weird, because I have the first 2 in paperback and then the rest of the series in hardback, but that doesn't really bother me. So this would make a fantastic TV series, not necessarily a movie, because once again, lost in translation of the details, the small details that we all like her dresses and her personality, who like in her head, and then how she perceives herself outwardly. So this would be such a good a TV series. And yeah, and I know it's been opted for TV or film, but I don't think anything's gone with it. And yeah, but I can't wait to read the 4th book because I still haven't read it. And the 5th book comes out here shortly, and I'm behind. I'm just really far behind on Sarah J. Maas novels because I still have to read the novella Bind Up, and then I still have to read A Court of Mist and Fury. Yeah, so I need to sit down and just read all her books one day. So this is another one. Number 2 on my list is the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. I still really enjoyed this series. Warner, by far my favorite character, Juliet, gets so much better as the books go on. She becomes more independent, not so much relying on a man. And yeah, so this I would love to see on a TV or on a movie. I don't think there's not really that many small details, although Whitney would probably tell you otherwise. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see if this will ever turn into a movie, because I know it was opted for TV, for TV film or a movie. So yeah, so this is hopefully going to be made into something where we fangirls can go watch it and enjoy ourselves, because you know we are all trash when it comes to teenage drama. Yes. And number 1 on my list, by far my favorite book I have ever read in my entire life, and that would be The Mighty Storm by Miss Samantha Toll. And this book is smut to the T. It is so graphic in these sexual scenes and everything. It is so fantastic. The first book, The Mighty Storm, it starts out as the woman, her name is True or Trudy, and the guy, his name is Jake, and he is a rock star. And True is a journalist, and one day she meets Jake for an interview. Well, little do us readers know that True and Jake have actually known each other since they were 14 years old and haven't seen each other for a really long time. And so she turns out to be this beautiful woman, and he turns out to be this fantastic rock star, this major, huge rock star. And, you know, drama and trouble and love pursues from there, and the rest is history. Yes, I absolutely love that book. I've read it so many times. I read the whole series. There's 3 books in the series, and then there's a 4th little novella, and I love it. There's just nothing I can say that will make it not my favorite book. I'm thinking about it now, and all I want to do is go read it again. But yeah, that is my number 1 pick for movies, or for books that I want to be made into TV shows or movies. And let me know some of the books that you want to see made into movies or TV shows. And if you agree with my list, just let me know. I want to chat in the comments with you guys. So yeah, for now I will see you guys later, and hopefully I'll have a video up soon. Maybe, I want to say another one will be up sometime this weekend, but it is going to be Labor Day weekend, so I don't know about that. But as for now, I will see you guys later. Bye!